I don't understand.
You don't want to get mixed up with a guy like me. I'm a loner, Dottie. A rebel.
Hello everybody, this is Tyler with the Ride Rebellion Flowcast. I'm coming with a little quick video. I've had a lot of people hitting me up wanting my thoughts of two new tires. We have the 5-inch Goat and the 5-inch Trail Pro 2. So I put some time on both of them. As you can tell, my boards only have one of the two on. So we're gonna get into it a little bit, what I like, what I don't like, and what my personal preference and my personal thoughts are. These are what I find. So everyone's gonna be different, you know, so just keep that in mind. This is just what I think. So let's get into it a little bit. So first we're gonna talk about the 5-inch Goat a little bit. If you remember in one of my videos, I fell in love with the 6-inch version of it. I did go with the 5-inch hub, so that kind of changed things up for a little bit for me. When I heard that they were making this tire for a 5-inch, I was super excited. I ordered 3 right out of the gate because I felt confident. So fast forward a year from when we were able to order it, which was a long wait, and finally they did arrive. And my thoughts on the 5-inch Goat. So I got this tire on there as fast as I could. Initially I did a lot of a lot of street miles on it, and this thing was a dream on the street. It was really good. A really fun carve, really fun flow. Kind of what I was kind of hoping for. My big complaint right away is it felt a lot firmer. It didn't have that same squishability that the 6-inch did. But I didn't let that discourage me too much, because when I first got the 6-inch version of it, I wasn't the biggest fan. I thought it was a fine tire. After about 50-ish miles, then I noticed that it really unlocked and it really let me have what I wanted out of it. And this was pretty much the same. It feels firm, you know, not as much squish as I was gonna think there was gonna be. But after putting 50-ish miles, again, the thing just kind of unlocked itself and I fell in love with it. Now let's look at the 5-inch Trail Pro 2. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan of the original Trail Pro. It was fine. It was a tire to me. It was just too stable. It was too boxy. And so that was, you know, a kind of hesitation that I had. But when the Float Life came out with it, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a try. And I did. It arrived. As you can tell, it just has, you know, it comes with kind of like a higher shoulders. Once you put air in it, it does level out. But my big complaint with the first one, and again this one, is it just felt way too boxy for me. It was good, you know, for keeping a straight line. I brought both these tires to Winman this last weekend. So at Winman, both these tires were really tested out quite a bit. This one definitely holds a much more straight line. This one, you feel like you can toss things around a lot more. You can get on your edge a lot better. Little micro adjustments you can do a lot better. Some people like that, some people don't. So if you're wanting just a straight line tire, I'm gonna say the Trail Pro 2. I put pretty much 50 miles on this tire now, and it softened up a little bit as well. It did also have kind of a firm feel out the gates. Too firm for my liking. It didn't seem to break in the same way that the Goat did. So for my personal riding, I like being able to adjust quicker. I don't like being stuck in a situation where I really, excuse me, where I really have to like throw my weight into something to really get on the edge. I found that I was having to do that a lot more with the Trail Pro 2 than I was the Goat. The Goat still also stayed nice and straight for me when I wanted it to. And it was also very nice to be able to maneuver around things that I needed to maneuver around, or if I'm getting into a turn, I didn't have to shove so hard on this. When it comes to the streets, again, the Goat is a great, I think it's a hybrid tire in my opinion, kind of like the Enduro was. This thing's great on street. It's a lot of fun, a lot of smooth carving, feels very buttery. And the treads don't make it too loud, so that's another bonus for it. On the trails, though, this thing did really good, in my opinion. I didn't feel like I was stuck on a straight line. I was able to veer off it when I needed to. On the Trail Pro 2, I was having to straight line things a lot more when I'd have to slow down for a turn. I was really having to push my weight into it. Which, like I said, some people like that, other people don't. I've never been that kind of person. I want a tire that I can bounce around on. maybe that's a bad word. I don't want to say bounce around, but maneuver around on, if you get my drift. The next big difference that there was comparing these two tires that really was a selling point again for me on the GOAT is clearance. The Trail Pro 2 has nowhere near the amount of clearance that I get with the GOAT 2. This, I always felt like when I was coming up to a hill or something that I was having to come back up, I was having to slow way down. On the GOAT, I was able to just kind of keep going. I scraped my nose a lot more on the Trail Pro 2 than I did on the GOAT. And when they're side by side, I mean, I don't know if you can tell from that angle, but there's a lot more tire on the GOAT than there is on the Trail Pro 2. So another thing to take into consideration. Sorry, I'm kind of tripping over my words. This is just a video I'm trying to get out quick. Bear with me. So the treads definitely felt great on both of them. They both, neither one was like slipping underneath me. One thing, again, I keep praising the GOAT, and I'm sorry, but it's just really that good. I do appreciate and like how the tread really wraps around the sidewall. Here, I can pull that up. I don't know if you can see very good, but it like literally wraps over the sidewall a good, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch. So that's another great perk for the GOAT. And on the Trail Pro 2, I can kind of see where the tread, I mean, very, very, very lightly comes down a little bit, but that's not enough to really gain us anything, in my opinion, I don't think. One thing that I noticed different this time around on the GOAT, if you remember my first video, I was talking about how I'd call it the heart, where the center had kind of a divot down. That really isn't there this time, like at all. I can see the shoulders raise up just a smidge, but I don't know, it was still working like a GOAT would. It just didn't have that little divot. I don't know if it was they changed the compound. I don't know exactly why, but it's not something that I'm missing. It's just something that I'm noting. So just to wrap up this comparison video, like I said, I'm trying to get it out there quick because I've been having a lot of people hitting me up, seeing which one I preferred and what my thoughts were. Between the two, as you can tell from this review, for my riding style, for what I like, I kept the 5-inch GOAT on my trail board. This one has the Street Pro 2, which is an amazing tire for streets. This is kind of my setup now. I have the 5-inch GOAT on my trail, and I have the Street Pro 2 on my street. It's what I love. This tire feels amazing. The Float Life nailed it with the 5-inch version. Initially, I didn't like it, and I gave it a little bit more time, and I fell in love with it. It's butterly smooth, we're gonna call it. And yeah, this is what my thoughts. Thank you for wanting to hear my two cents of thoughts on the Trail Pro the Trail Pro 2 and the 5-inch GOAT. I hope you find this helpful. If you're wanting a really stable, but also less clearance tire for trails, this is going to be the one for you. If you're wanting something that you can maneuver around and also is incredible on street, the GOAT is going to be the way for you. Give them both a try. Your opinion might be different than mine. I'm just sharing mine. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I have a bunch of errands to run, and then I'm going to try to get a ride in. I don't know if it's going to be for the trail or the street yet today, but we'll figure it out. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you next time.